Hello and welcome to all students in this our YouTube channel. Students, we are in the topic of chemical bonding, and in our previous lecture we have seen the bond polarities as well as different bond parameters in our previous lecture. So in continuation with that lecture, in our today's lecture we are going to learn a new point from this topic, that is Fajans rule. Now students, what this rule tells us, just as all the covalent bonds have some partial ionic character, the ionic bonds also have partial covalent character. The partial covalent character of ionic bonds was discussed by Fajans rules. Now what this actually rules, now which are the different points which are included in this rule are the smaller size of the cations and the larger size of the anion, the greater the covalent character of an ionic bond. That is, if we consider here the size of cation and the size of anion, greater the covalent character of an ionic bond. And the second thing is that the greater the charge on the cation, the greater the covalent character of ionic bond. For cations of the same size and charge, the one with electronic configuration. Now if we consider here n-1 d raised to n ns0, typical of transition metals is more polarizing than one with the noble gas configuration, and ns2 np6 typical of alkali and alkaline earth metal cations. Now students, from the same topic again we are going to learn the new point from this chapter, that is VSEPR theory. VSEPR means valence shell electron pair repulsion theory. Now students, in this point we are going to learn the electron pair repulsion which is going to take place while the formation of molecules. So this theory, the name of this theory is assigned like this: valence shell electron pair repulsion theory. Now we will learn their corresponding points, means on the basis of different points this theory is based on. The main postulates of VSEPR theory are as follows: the shape of a molecule depends upon the number of valence shell electron pairs. In that we have included bonded and non-bonded around the central atom. Pairs of electrons in the valence shell repel one another since their electron clouds are negatively charged. With the help of different example, we are going to learn how this repulsion is going to take place. These pairs of electrons tend to occupy such a positions in the space that minimize repulsion and thus maximize distance between them, that is lone pairs. The valence shell is taken as sphere with the electron pairs localizing on the spherical surface at maximum distance from one another. A multiple bond is treated as if it is a single electron pair, and 2 or 3 electron pairs of multiple bond are treated as single super pair. These points we are going to apply in the examples. A multiple bond is treated as if it is a single electron pair, and the 2 or 3 electron pairs of a multiple bond are treated as a single super pair, where 2 or more resonance structures can represent a molecule. That is, the VSEPR model is applicable to any such structure. Here the repulsive interaction of electron pair decreases in the order of lone pair repulsion is more than that of the lone pair bond pair repulsion, and is again greater than that of the bond pair. Means, student, you have to keep in mind this point. This is a very important relation. On this relation, many of the examples are based for NEET as well as JEE, CET. For the different competitive examinations, some questions may be asked on this interaction. Again, here lone pair repulsion, if we consider here, which is more than that of the lone pair and bond pair. For the prediction of geometrical shapes of molecules with the help of VSEPR theory, it is convenient to divide molecules into two categories. Molecule in which the central atom has no lone pair, and the second case is that molecules in which the central atom has one or more lone pairs. VSEPR theory is used to predict the shape of the atomic models. There are different shapes such as tetrahedral, octahedral, linear, bipyramidal, trigonal, planar, trigonal, bipyramidal. These are the different geometries of, or we can say, different shapes of the molecules which are formed by this theory, that is VSEPR. Now, out of them, some are shown here in this slide. Linear molecule appear like this, and trigonal, planar, tetrahedral, etc. Again, in detail in this next slide, we are going to learn here. Here in this chart, we have provided it with some examples, that is number of shared electron pairs around the central atom are mentioned in the first column, and geometry of molecule you will notice here in the second column. The corresponding shape of the molecule here you will get, and their corresponding examples are mentioned in the last column. So we will look at one by one. If we consider here the second example, BF3, that is, it is trigonal planar, means the similar molecules are also given in the last column, that is examples BCl3, AlF3, AlCl3, like this. There are different examples we can take also here. And if you look at their geometry, the distance between, or we can say the bond angle between BA and B will be 120 degree. And if we goes for the next example, that is tetrahedral molecules, in that category you will get the examples such as CH4, CCl4, SH4, SCl4, etc. So the geometry of the molecule will be having this tetrahedral geometry, and all the atoms are present at the corners of regular tetrahedron, and here the bond angle between BA and B will be 109 degree, 28 minutes, or we can say 9.5 degree. So this is the geometry of the tetrahedral molecule. Like that of trigonal, bipyramidal, you can also learn here, and octahedral also you will get the corresponding their examples SF6 and TEF6. Here in this chart from your textbook, we have taken the different examples, and you can also learn in detail by drawing these structures in your notebook. Now students, valence bond theory, this is a very important theory for understanding the geometries of different molecules which are based on this theory, that is valence bond theory. Now here consider two hydrogen atoms A and B approaching each other having nuclei Na and Nb. We are applying this theory for the simplest molecule, that is hydrogen molecule, and the electrons present in them are represented by Ea and Eb. I will repeat once again. Na and Nb, these are the nuclei of A and B atoms, and Ea and Eb are the electrons present in them. When the two atoms are at large distance from each other, there is no interaction between them. As these two atoms approach each other, new attractive and repulsive forces begin to operate. Attractive forces arise between nucleus of one atom and its own electron, that is Na to Ea. That is, for B you can say Nb to Eb, that is electron of B atom. This type of attraction will be taking place. Nucleus of one atom and electron of other atom, that is NaEb, and nucleus of other atom and electron of other atom Na and Ea are now going to operate here. Experimentally, it has been found that the magnitude of new attractive forces is more than the new repulsive forces. As a result, two atoms approach each other and potential energy decreases. Ultimately, a stage reached where the net force of attraction balances the force of repulsion, and the system acquired hydrogen atoms are said to be bonded together to form a stable molecule having the bond length of 74 picometer. Since the energy gets released when the bond is formed between two hydrogen atoms, the hydrogen molecule is more stable than that of the isolated hydrogen atoms. The energy so released is called as bond enthalpy, which is corresponding to minimum in the curve. That is, if we consider here, when gaseous state hydrogen molecule is now going to convert in the corresponding atomic state, the enthalpy or the energy required for breakdown of these hydrogen molecules into their corresponding atoms is nothing but 435.8 kilojoule per mole. Now students, this is the theory data for this graph. We can say that here at the start we can say that when the two hydrogen atoms are approaching towards each other, the internuclear distance gets reduced. So if you look at here the curve which is shown in the with the green line here, when the two atoms gets approaches towards each other, due to the attraction force they bring each other, and at that time the distance between two hydrogen atoms is now going to decrease here, that is internuclear distance gets reduced. And again, if we want to bring these two atoms again nearer to each other, so the repulsive forces are now going to be increased, so the repulsion will takes place and bond never forms. And the energy curve which is shown with the blue line here, that energy we are calling it as a bond energy, and the distance between two atoms is nothing but the bond length that we have taken here in this curve. Now orbital overlap concept that now we are going to learn here. In the formation of hydrogen molecule, there is a minimum energy state when two hydrogen atoms are so near that their atomic orbitals undergo partial interpenetration. Thus partial merging of atomic orbitals is called overlapping of atomic orbitals, which results in the pairing of electrons. The extent of overlap decides the strength of covalent bond. So in general we can say that greater the overlap, the stronger is the bond formed between two atoms. Therefore, according to orbital overlap concept, the formation of a covalent bond between two atoms results by pairing of electrons present in the valence shell having opposite spin. Now the directional properties of bonds. As we already seen, the covalent bond is formed by overlapping of atomic orbitals. The molecule of hydrogen is formed due to the overlap of 1s orbitals of two hydrogen atoms. The valence bond theory explains the shape, the formation and directional properties of bonds in the polyatomic molecules like CH4, NH3 and H2O, etc. In terms of overlap and hybridization of atomic orbitals, the overlapping of atomic orbitals we will learn in the next lecture by considering the different examples from your textbook. These are the different possibilities of overlappings which are taking place. In the different examples we are going to learn by considering the examples such as formation of methane, formation of ethane and acetylene. Such examples we are going to learn in our next lecture. So this is all about in our today's lecture. Thank you very much.